I never brought up the stats of how many players don't make it to the NFL. I felt as if my athletes knew, and I just wanted to stay away from stats. I did not want to be that person to be like, hey, only so many people in this locker room are not going to make it in year one of them. All right, it's time for the question of the week. And this week's question is, how do you get athletes to see past their athletic careers? I mentioned it in the intro. One way I did it, I did not discuss the stats. Yeah, the stats are 2 to 3% of your locker room. I was with college football, so 2 to 3% out of 120 players will get a chance to play in NFL. The number is even smaller for how many are on the active roster, how many play past 3 years, how many get to the second contract. The number always minimizes. My policy was this: I never wanted to diminish the dream of a young man that I served. Here's one of the biggest reasons. Every time that the head coach I worked for would ask who wants to play in the NFL, I would raise my hand in the back room knowing I had zero chance, and I mean zero chance of playing in the NFL. But I didn't want to put that on people. I've seen people, hey, what's your backup plan? And I get it. I understand the heart behind it and giving stats and being honest and truthful. As relationships are built deeper, as I built deeper relationships with players and got to know them to where I could have these conversations, yeah, that was brought up. But this was not something I did overall, or this is not how I engaged the entire team. One of the best phrases I use, it had the most success, I will always say, what are you going to do when your career is done? So your career may be 10 years from now. Okay, if you graduated at 21 or you go to the NFL at 21, 10 years from now it's 31. That's not old. What are you going to do when your career is done? Maybe you're an anomaly, right? And you have a 20-year career like LeBron James or Tom Brady. What are you going to do when your career is done? Tom Brady has already shown what he is doing as his career is now done, and LeBron has already shown what he will do when his career ends, whenever that ends. So that was a phrase I used, when your career is done, because now it actually helps you, because the process the players understand at some point is going to be done, and it helps them even see, this could be done tomorrow, this could be done next week. So I always use that term. What is the plan when your career is done? What can we do? Another term I would use when they talk about the NFL, I say, so, okay, cool. What are you going to do in the offseason? What are you going to do in the offseason outside of trade to, continue to make this money, or make this money that you're making make money? So that was one thing I did. One key practice I had was having these conversations when players were in the training room, or they, had an injury, or there was sports med. There's a lot of downtime. They're there by themselves. Their teammates are out practicing. They're thinking a lot. Now, I didn't come in there like, hey, you injured. See, it was taken from you. Are you ready? Definitely didn't do that. But I would have conversations, how do you feel? How's the injury? Like, what have you been doing? What are some hobbies that you've got? Like, let's say someone has an injury where they're out for the season. They may pick up a hobby, and then you're talking to them about that. You have these conversations. I think that honestly has become, at first I didn't want to do it because I was like, man, that's kind of messed up. I'm going in there, they're injured, they're vulnerable. I'm about to go here and talk about life outside of football. But it actually became some of the greatest conversations I had with my athletes, talking about, hey, I know you're injured now, but what are you going to do until you get back? You're going to play again next season. What could you grow in? What are some hobbies? What are some things you want to learn about? You'd be shocked at the conversations you will have. And so that's my answer to helping athletes see past their athletic career. Ask them where do they want to be positioned when their career is over. And when you get those opportunities and you have relationships, do not go into that training room without relationships asking those questions. You will get fried by everybody in there, including the sportsman staff. But you want to make sure you have those relationships, that you already built those, and you go in and ask questions there. Well, that's all for this week's question of the week. And I have a question for you. How are you prepared to be in a player development position and role? If you don't know the answer to that question, I have the answer for you. Check out the Guide to Player Development course in the show notes. Check it out. It's a self-paced course for you to create a player development outline to serve the athletes around the world. Have a great day. Thank you so much for coming. Once again, hey, check out, if you like this question, first of all, hit like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to do that in all my videos. Like and subscribe if you like today's video, and then check out this list right here, this playlist of questions of the week. Have a good one, and God bless.